Um, what can I say? Well, it's strange the way everybody is trying to make Brigitte Macron the poster girl of conspiracy, in the sense of why this emphasis on Brigitte Macron, in the sense of why label her as something or make her the poster girl of deceit, in short. I come from a background where you don't label people and where you don't try and mock people, in the sense of she's happy how she is, her loved ones who are around her are happy with how she is. So it's nobody's real business in the sense of who she is, because the people around her are not complaining. What crime has she committed? Who is crying foul over her? So she's just going about living her life normally and peacefully, and everybody is screaming, she's this, she's that, she's that. To me, it looks a bit like bullying, in the sense of bullying and ridiculing, in the sense of how is her business anybody else's business? This is just one human being in a world full of billions of people, and everybody's trying to make her a laughing stock. This is sort of like the French Revolution, where the masses gang up to ridicule and put stakes in the wealthy, so-called wealthy. I remember when Serena Williams was being mocked for being a man, when Venus Williams was being mocked for a man, when it was very clear to anybody who had half an eye that these were women. I'm a huge fan of Serena Williams. I couldn't quite understand it, because her baby pictures are out there, her adolescent pictures are out there, and anybody who is familiar with women would know these are basically women, very, very, very feminine. Even her muscles. I looked at some pictures of Serena Williams the other day, and I was like, this girl is not even muscular at all, So, I think whenever there's a bit of strangeness, or people don't quite fill the box, we try to label them or put them in a box. But I think we should look and see, if this was us, the whole world is trying to call us this or call us that. Who Brigitte Macron is a 50-50 thing. It might be she's female, it might be male, but it's 50-50. There's nobody who can tell you it's 60 this, 60 that. You can't just be from the outside tell who she is. You can't tell who she is from the outside, because you're not in her personal space. And you can't be saying there are no baby pictures of her, because who knows, maybe she didn't want to take baby pictures. You can't really rationalize the world on people, that because people don't fit in this box, it's sort of like stereotyping. Because people don't fill in a box, complete in a box, then they must be this. There's so much conspiracy theory around the world. Like September 11, the US government was behind it. But nobody stops to think, will the US government allow their pride and treasure to be hit? Nobody thinks, oh, this is if it was going to be the US government behind September 11, they would have chosen nondescript government buildings to destroy. But nobody who is sane, even those people are insane, destroys their World Trade Centers. Then you go for the Pentagon. You go for smaller things to destroy because they mean nothing to you. That's one of the things about conspiracy theory. They never really bother to look far. It's just a jump on one of two things and they form things out of it. My own take is, it's the person who Brigitte Macron is portraying a female married to a French president. I think that's good enough for anybody. Regardless of who that person is, the person is portraying a female, is a female or other portraying a female, and that should be enough for anybody. We shouldn't start digging too deep into people's personal lives or people's sexual lives to understand who they are. Once you start doing that, then you wonder, what are you doing with your time? Because there are billions of people on the world. You shouldn't make a couple of people the center of the world or of your world. So I think the whole Brigitte Macron thing is highly misplaced. Because what are we trying to do? Are we trying to ridicule her? Are we trying to mock her? It's turning into ridicule and it's turning into trying to mock her. And we as human beings, we should not stoop that low. We should never go into witch hunting, like America's past of witch hunting people, witch hunting women. How many women were killed during the witch hunts? So I think it's largely a witch hunt, regardless of who Brigitte Macron is. I think it's largely a witch hunt. Because you don't persecute people who haven't done wrong. You don't persecute people. You don't start attacking or going after people. What do you want? What do you want people to do? To show you their privates. Have we become like that? People should show you their privates. To show you their sexuality. People should show you their privates. People should open up so much of themselves just for you. So I think in situations like this, it's always going to be 50-50. And people like Brigitte Macron or anybody else should never really, regardless of whether they're male or female, should never succumb to ridicule, and should never succumb to showing all of themselves so that people can prove, oh, this person has proved. Who the hell are you to ask for people to prove this is me, this is me? You can't ask that. Because if the shoes were turned on the other way, we won't like it. You can't keep on asking people to show me evidence. Who the hell are you to ask for evidence of who someone is? We can't stoop that low. People should give me evidence until I believe. Well, how about you giving people evidence that they want? So we live in a world where we have to allow people to be. If someone is portraying themselves as something and others like that portrayal, and we are not in their circle of friends, then we should leave them alone. Because we're not in that circle. It's not as if the person is going around killing people or enticing people into their circle. They're just living their lives within their circle. So we are the ones trying to enter their circle, break up their circles, ridicule them in their circle. So my own take is, for the future, people should learn to leave people alone. Conspiracy theories should be about matters of the state, like 9/11. But when you start prying into people's lives, I think that's where the lines are being crossed. Nobody should ever become God to determine who is who and who is not that. We somehow say, oh, the media was evil. The rich people that control the media were evil. But if you look at social media, look at YouTube, look at Twitter, it's the evil masses who peddle these conspiracies. They say, oh, the rich handle the media, the rich control the media. But if you open up YouTube these days, you see so much conspiracy, you see so many fake stories, and you say these are the same masses who used to castigate the rich for influencing the media, and now the masses are doing the thing. There was even one so-called respected speaker on the American state who was talking about rich people, how rich people behave, how rich people treat their workers like underlings. Which poor person treats people well? If you have a successful company and your company faces bad luck, the poor will leave you. Human beings are human beings. We need to stop making all this, the rich do this, the poor do that, the famous do this, because we're all the same, we're all human beings. So my own take is, whoever or whatever Brigitte Macron is, I think she should be allowed to live in peace. She should be allowed to live in peace. We cannot cajole her into the masses court of approval. The masses cannot determine that she should bring her to a court of approval, because that's what the so-called masses say the rich ones did. So we need to be careful. We need to be very careful and allow personal dignity and personal privacy to be respected. It looks as if the masses want to sort of a sudden take authority of the government and become... I think once you don't understand that, look, people deserve their privacy, people deserve... I think that's the beginning of tyranny. When you don't understand people deserve their people deserve to live in peace, and nobody needs to be witch hunted for who they are or what they portray, because that's their own business. You can't witch hunt people either for religious things. You can't religious people based on sex. You can't witch hunt people based on tribe. You just can't witch hunt. And the worst thing is to give the witch hunting name. I'm going after this person. Look, you can't go after people. You can go after a movement, yes, but don't narrow it down to people. When you start narrowing it to people, when it starts getting very, very petty, and that's when it becomes ridicule. So my own take is leave Brigitte Macron alone. She's just one person in billions of people. Let her live her life in peace. She's a human being. She deserves her peace. Leave her alone. That's what I'll tell anybody. Leave her alone. I think it's gone too far. It's now ridicule and mockery. Regardless of who she is, who he is, look, leave her alone. It's the life she lives. It's the life she has chosen to live. It's not nobody's business. It doesn't affect anybody. But we need to leave people alone. Not calling Serena Williams a man. We don't need all that kind of crap. We don't need it. We don't need trying to drag people down or mock people. So that's just it. Brigitte Macron is a woman to me, regardless of what anybody says. Only Brigitte Macron can decide who she is and decides what she wants to be. And the rest of us leave her alone and talk of other things.